I'm sure you've heard this phrase a million times before. What others think of you says more about them than it does of you. But if you're like me, you might have heard it and thought, okay, how does that come from me? What does this actually mean? When someone gives you an opinion, whether it's a compliment or a criticism, it's almost always about their own insecurities, fears, past experiences, or what they've learned to believe it's right or normal. Take this for example. Imagine you're walking with a friend, they suddenly point out a stranger and say, wow, look at that hair, those trainers are hideous. What are they even wearing? Sounds harsh, right? But here's the thing, this judgment says more about your friend than it does about the stranger. See, your friend might feel pressure to fit in and they don't really understand people that don't worry about it. Or maybe perhaps they're insecure about their own style. So when they criticize someone else, they're really imagining how would they be criticized if they were the ones wearing the outfit. It's like in their heads, they become the others judging them, so they judge themselves through the stranger, if that makes sense. So the judgment isn't about the stranger at all. They're just living their lives. It's about your friend's own fears and how they think others might see them. But it's not just criticism that works that way. Compliments do too. Validation and criticism are two sides of the same coin, really. What makes someone lean towards one or the other often comes down to whether that awakened admiration, inspiration in them, or trigger them somehow. So what I'm trying to say is when someone pays you a compliment, it might come from a place of admiration. They wish they had what you have. But the key thing is they don't feel threatened by it. They admire it and they are totally okay in letting you know. So your success, your beauty, your confidence doesn't make them feel smaller. It actually inspires them and they're happy to tell you that. Now, on the other hand, criticism can often come from the same place, someone admiring something that you have, but instead of feeling inspired, it triggers their own insecurities, so they don't feel safe enough to say, wow, I wish I had that. So they try to bring you down instead. But to be fair, a lot of times they don't even realize they are doing it. It's not something conscious. It's like their brain goes into a self-protection mode and says, okay, let's steer this down because I don't want to feel bad about not having this. Criticism can also come from a place of unfamiliarity. So sometimes people have not been exposed to many different things like different cultures, languages, food, lifestyles. What they perceive of the world is what they've seen in their own cities, communities, and that's it. So when they come across something that doesn't fit that narrow lens, their first reaction might be of judgment. Not because it's actually wrong or bad, but because it's just weird to them. And instead of being curious, they get defensive. Again, it's about insecurity. The unknown feels uncomfortable, and instead of saying, I don't get it, but that's cool, they criticize. Because that's easier than challenging their own perspective. So next time you catch yourself worrying about what others think of you, might be a compliment, might be a criticism, try to remember this. Their opinions of you is more about their world, their fears, their judgments, their triggers, their traumas, what they were thought to value, and their hopes, rather than is about your true worth. You are way bigger and more complex than any single opinion. And no judgment or phrase can change that unless you let it, because